IVM.
Hello and welcome to the Habit Coach Podcast, the bite-sized podcast filled with quick and easy actionable habits. Remember, great habits create that awesome life. I am Ashdin Doctor, your habit coach. And today's fun fact of the day has to do with the ex-governor of Hong Kong. Did you know that Sir John Bowring, the governor of Hong Kong from 1854 to 1859, was said to know 200 languages and was capable of speaking 100 of them? Now, this is the most extreme case of a polyglot that I could find. And a polyglot is someone who speaks more than 5 languages fluently. Now, Sir Bowring's ability was obviously never recorded, and hence we have no proof of this amazing ability. But the current Guinness World Record holder is Powell Alexander Janulis, who was tested and recorded to have spoken 42 different languages fluently, while actually being skilled at 64. Now, to put things in perspective, he was hired by a Canadian actor to teach him Punjabi for a role in a movie. So just imagine how fluent he was in these 42 languages. Also, I don't know about you, but I always found studying new languages very hard. And this is because our mind is taught to speak in a certain way. I remember while growing up and later when I was traveling extensively across India for work, people would ask me, "What is your mother tongue?" And I would always reply and say, "Pink," and then giggle, 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 giggle. You see, our mother tongue is the language we were taught to speak in at home. It is the language our parents taught us and spoke to us in. It is the language we are most comfortable in. But more critically, and this is what I'm most fascinated by, is that this is the language we think in and the language we dream in. Imagine just how important this language is to us. It has the power to influence our thoughts, and hence the power to influence the kind of life we decide to live. Now, I know you had no option to say the kind of mother tongue you wanted to learn. It was taught to you. But along with the mother tongue itself came the words that were the most commonly used in your household. Were the majority of the words used positive or negative? Were most of these words used about love or hate, trust or distrust, scarcity and lack or abundance, sadness and depression, or happiness and joy? The words most commonly used at home are the words that we live our lives by. It is as if they are programmed into us. And these words then become a part of our belief system. They form the lenses with which we see the world. If our mother tongue can be thought of as the frames of a pair of sunglasses, the lenses are the words. Do you see through blue lenses or red lenses or rose-tinted lenses? You see, as your habit coach, I want you to realize that you can change the lenses with which you see the world, because the words we use to describe the world around us are nothing more than habits, and habits can be changed. The words our parents used at home were a reflection of their reality. You had the ability to change that reality for yourself. You do not need to be imprisoned by the words that were used at home. And as your habit coach, I am a big fan of changing the words you use. This is because I know just how big an impact that they can have on your subconscious mind. So your super simple habit starts by becoming aware of the kind of language used at home. Become aware of the programming that is already present, and then start choosing different words to use. Use words that communicate endless possibilities. Use words of power and ability, happiness and joy, abundance and love. Because your words create and describe your reality.
Usually in a podcast, it's me who speaks to you and you who listens. But I've been seeing your comments, and it's time. It's me listening to you. Following the overwhelming success of this podcast, the good folks at IVM Podcast Network have decided to come up with a Kannada adaptation of the show for those who prefer listening to it in that language. Do make sure you let your Kannada speaking friends know about this as well.
Now, if you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on social media. We are at IVM Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to reach out to me, I am at Ashdin Doc on Twitter and Instagram. We have a brand new habit coaching online course, quizzes, videos, and a lot more on the website awesome180.com. So check it out now.
Hello, everybody. It's been another awesome, great week on the IBM Podcast Network. We're glad Intel vPro is back as a sponsor, and this time they're presenting the show Future Proofing with Eklavya. Eklavya's got a great episode. He talks to Jose, the erstwhile MTV VJ and comedian. They discuss the creator economy and Web 3.0. On Cyrus Says His Cock and Bull, Cyrus, Kajol, Sriram, and Antariksh talk about Internet Explorer shutting down after 27 years. On Shunya One, Shiladitya talks to Suneet Gajbhiye, co-founder and chief business officer of Finance Peer. They discuss this journey so far. On Press Decode, Sarah Vagda and Prafula discuss the Indian Army's employment and retirement policies. And on Postcards from Nowhere, Utsav talks to us about Soma, the world's greatest unsolved culinary mystery. We got some exciting news for you. IBM Podcast has just launched its merch line, and you should check it out now. Head over to the IBM Podcast website, that's ibmpodcast.com, and click on the Shop tab to check out our first collection of t-shirts. Also, do follow us on social media. We're IBM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And remember, if you're enjoying this show or any of our other shows for that matter, please do tell a friend. That really does help. Don't forget to rate us on any of the platforms you're listening to us on. And also do remember, you can check out a number of our shows on YouTube. You can go to ibmpodcast.com/YouTube to get a list of the channels that we are keeping active. We also are doing a small listener survey. If you could go to ibmpodcast.com/survey to fill this out, it'll just take a few minutes and it really helps us out. And finally, we'd like to thank our sponsors this week, SBI Life Insurance, Apne Liye, Apno Ke Liye. Jupiter, a digital banking app. Capgemini, get the future you want. Intel vPro, built for business. And Intel, future but now wonderful with Intel-powered laptops. There's a quick survey to fill out on ivmpodcast.com/survey. It lets us know a little bit more about who's listening to us. And you know what? We're going to do a few prizes. So, we'll do a random drawing of maybe 10 people, and we'll send you all some swag. Remember, that's ivmpodcast.com/survey where you can fill out the survey.